blanket feeling cold against your skin. Running through the chaos, letting all the sin. Temptation in a bottle, ready for the night. Craving for the thrill, it's time to ignite. Dark desires burning bright. Echoes in the dead of night. No retreat, no looking back on this heart attack.
Ladies and gentlemen, how are you? Good to be back. I wish I had better news for you, and I know most of you have already heard, but the inevitable, unfortunately, the things we all thought has come true. I don't think anyone was fooled at all by the performance that we saw from Rebecca Haro or Jake, but Rebecca, I saw an interview today with a woman who lives in the area, and she said, I watched the interview of Rebecca trying to tell the media what had happened, and even she was like, it did not seem right, and that is what tipped me off to everything. I agree with her. That original interview that she did talking about her child being missing just never seemed right. And it's very unfortunate that we now have charges against the parents and a little boy believed to be dead. I wouldn't be surprised if the theory that I came up with the other day is true, that Jake, with his history against children, attacked Emmanuel as well, and the mum got involved to try and stop it, and Jake beat the crap out of her. That's how she got the black eye. And then they realized the child was dead. And then now we're here with a fake story, a fake kidnapping. And now the question turns to, where is the little boy? Where is Emmanuel? That's what we need to find out. Yeah, so the cops got tipped off because when they searched that home with the search warrant, they found so when cops search a home and they find blood, there's several different ways it can go, but they'll often look for what they call unsurvivable injuries, and they can sort of measure this with the amount of blood they find. So for a child, it might be, a blood stain X amount big, and for an adult, it might be this thick blood with this wider area. And they sort of say, hey, look, that looks like a fatal injury. And I'm guessing that is what happened here. They found enough blood to say it was an unsurvivable injury. Yeah, the black eye was old. I agree. Hey, my friend. Hey, SP Mama. Good to see you. So I want to play this little update. I know you guys have probably already seen it, but just for, just because this is a true crime channel, we should play it. All right.
News. New video of the parents of a missing baby being arrested at their Cabazon home.
It's been over a week since baby Emmanuel Haro went missing.
And KCAL's Joy Benedict explains what investigators are now saying about that initial kidnapping report.
It has been a long day for sheriff's deputies, but this investigation is far from over, as both Jake and Rebecca Haro are currently in custody, arrested for murder, as investigators believe that Emmanuel Haro was never kidnapped at all.
I'm begging you, please, if you know anything, please, I'm just begging you to bring him back, please.
It was a desperate plea and then silence, as the parents of 7-month-old Emmanuel Haro said he was kidnapped. But 1 week later, they are the ones now in custody, arrested for murder.
Ecstatic to find out that we are finally getting justice. We are finally getting closer to knowing what happened to baby Emmanuel.
Neighbors in this Cabazon community showed up by the dozens, putting up signs throughout the week, desperate to help and concerned that something felt wrong.
I feel relieved now because I know that the people that are responsible for this are where they need to be.
The child was reported kidnapped on August 14th. Rebecca Haro said she brought him to this sporting goods store to get a mouth guard for her stepson, but was attacked from behind, the child taken.
I got up off the floor and I didn't see my child. Someone took him from me.
But deputies
That interview right there that you see her talking, it it just rubbed me the wrong way constantly when I've watched it. It just makes the hair stand up on the back of your neck. It makes me very bristle, like you get like that bristle feeling. I'm just like, oh, there's just something not right there. The way she explains it, the way she sort of has to think about what she's saying. If this was a natural event, like something that happened to you, you'd just be like, oh, there's a guy, he came, he attacked me. But it's almost like she's trying to feign being, upset or, something like that. And it just it's not right. And I think a lot of people picked up on it, not just YouTube people, not just me. I think all the viewers picked up on it. It was one of those cases where I think we all saw it in like day one. We're all like, there's something up here. It's a shame it took a week to sort of get to the answer that we all knew was there. It's very sad. Um, just it just rubs me the wrong. Every time I hear it, it makes me aggravated because it just doesn't come across correctly. Her use of the explaining doesn't look right. And yeah, you'll see them in another bit of this interview. I think everyone's watched it like 20 times. It's almost like Aaron. Someone said it's like Aaron. It is sort of like Aaron, right? I think so too. Um, Standing in front of a camera, trying to pretend to be upset, trying to give the public what they want. And yeah,
Say there was
here, I'll play the rest.
no description of the attacker, a vehicle, or any security video to confirm the kidnapping. Within 24 hours, their pickup truck and phones were taken in as evidence, their property searched, and a second child removed from the home. The detective said the Haros refused a lie detector test and stopped cooperating.
There's no question Jake is willing to cooperate, but it's the police's job to reach out and say, hey, we want to speak with Jake.
Vincent.
This guy, and if you're worried about swearing, this is a time to put on your earmuffs right now because Ping is going to let loose. All right, I'll give you the sign when it's all over. But this guy is a fucking sellout. This guy is trash. I have watched him all week and he is awful throughout the entire thing. I saw him on an interview a day or so ago, and he's trying to advocate for Jake. And I know it's his client or ex-client or whatever, but you have a choice in life. You have a choice as a lawyer. You don't have to take clients if you don't want to. He was like, oh, Jake just did a 52-week parenting course. What are you trying to sell the freaking world on? It's ridiculous. You're trying to sell these people as good, honest, hardworking people that care for their children. Well, how do you feel tonight sitting in wherever you are saying, oh, they were charged with murder? Like, I don't know where your ethics lie and I don't know where your moral compass is, but it seems broken when you go on friggin' News Nation and spend half an hour advocating for them. When, like, the back history, you already defended him against one CA charge, and you must have known something here wasn't right either. I mean, what people will do for a paycheck, I guess, willing to sell out and bend their own moral and ethics to be on TV, I guess. But yeah, he out of all this, it's like I hate that the child is now, unfortunately, police believe deceased. I hate that the parents did this and lied to California and the world. But this guy is definitely number 3 on the list. He's just, you can tell like he's reveling in his moment to be on television. If that's the reason you got into law and you don't care what client you take, as long as it gets you on television, I mean, I don't know. It says more about you than anything else. Wendy, hey, good to see you. Retarder said Jake is such a POS. And you see him here. Where is it? I'll pause the audio on it so we don't have to listen to it. Where's that view of him? Here. Yeah, where he's like doing this, I don't know, I think they're doing like a prayer or something. And the whole time they know what happened to that child. And oh, please tell me what happened where my child is. You know, apparently, according to the police, you know. So your sort of fake outreach to the community is, you know, not well received. All right.
Detector test and stopped cooperating.
There's no question Jake is willing to cooperate, but it's the police's job to reach out and say, hey, we want to speak with Jake.
Vincent Hughes is an attorney who represented Jake Haro on a previous case when he pled guilty to willful child cruelty involving an incident with an older child. He spoke with us on Thursday.
Jake, he has a criminal conviction. That does not mean that he is guilty of everything else in the future. People change. Jake has completed a 52-week parenting class.
But clearly detectives disagreed. Arriving at the Haro home early Friday morning, breaking down the gate, searching the property, and taking both parents into custody. But the sheriff's department says they have not found Emmanuel Haro.
The fact that they have no body of a child, no actual evidence of the child's death, will make a case difficult.
Stanley Goldman is a law professor and former defense.
Well, the fact that they don't have a body doesn't mean they won't ever have a body and more proof. It just means they have enough now for the threshold of those charges to be approved by their hierarchy DA and things like that. It doesn't mean that they will never have more. So yeah, you hear him talk. Jake's done a 52-week parenting course. All right, everyone, let's go home. Let's all go home. The lawyer just said that he did a 52-week parenting course. And we must all be wrong. we must all have the wrong idea. Ridiculous. Chipmunk, good to see you. Hey, Danny, good to have you here. SP Mama, glad to have you guys. Hey, Sean. Yeah, hit the like button. I would appreciate it. Justice Jane is here. Gail is here. Retired RN. Retired RN said he has completed a 52-week parenting class, but he is still a POS. Talk about what you say coming back to bite you in the ass. He's like, oh, Jake is guilty of that crime that he, pleaded guilty to, but that doesn't mean he's guilty of everything in the future. Really? Because less than 28 days, 28 hours later, your client has now been, or ex-client, has now been arrested and charged with the murder of a child. Not the CA allegations that happened a few years ago. This time, he actually killed the child, if you believe the police version of events and the charges. It's all allegations at this point, but seems like a step up from your, he seems to have, come around and rectified his behavior. Doesn't seem so. Seems like he has continued with his violent ways against children, which makes him the lowest of the low. Anyone who hurts children, you are scum. And the fact that you would hurt your own child makes it even worse. And I think we all picked up on the injuries on that little boy. I think we all saw that decline. You could see it when he was like a little baby, and then when he was a little older. And it didn't look like he was going from strength to strength. It looked like he was actually declining, like getting worse in health. And I think we all picked that up from those photos. Very, very sad. All right.
Attorney.
The one fear of the prosecution might be they could take the case to trial, lose because the jury didn't think they had quite enough, and then later tragically discover evidence. The double jeopardy clause would preclude the prosecution from then refiling.
And as the community waits for more answers from the sheriff's department about what they think happened, those around here just want to make sure this little boy isn't forgotten.
Our next step is to find that child and give him a proper burial.
This is the gate that deputies broke down when they made this arrest and began this search. I'm also told by Jake Haro's attorney that they busted through his front door as well. As for what happens now, this case is in the hands of the Riverside County District Attorney's Office. They say if they choose to file charges, the Haros should be in court on Tuesday afternoon.
Well, now they have, and Tuesday afternoon, or whenever we get a court date for it, they will be in court fronting those charges. You know what I love? I love when the cops are like, yeah, let's just bring out the bear cat and take down a fence. I love that. And they're like, yeah, instead of knocking at the door, we'll just knock the door down. They were not messing around. I don't know what they thought they had in there, but they're just like, let's destroy half the property. Let's go back. I want to go here. Yeah, this interview, if you were a body language person, you'd pick up a lot out of this interview. What I find interesting is she's always never looking at anyone. This woman, Rebecca, in all these interviews, she's always looking down, away. Um, yeah, strange. There was that other video where she gets upset and hugs another person, not him. And I reckon that said a lot. It's like subliminal body language, and I reckon that when they say like a photo is a million words, that sort of little photo where you see her hugging someone else and not him just spoke volumes about what was going on in the background. SP Mom said, all you need are the words, listen with no video, but yeah, body language is really off. I agree. I think Rebecca is scared to death of Jake. There's a sort of like um a scale of you know eh, there's like an imbalance here. Normally, if we had a woman who we don't know for sure, but say that she is in a DV situation, normally we would be on her side and trying to advocate for her, right? But in this particular case, it's very hard to advocate for her in any sort of that sort of way in if she is being abused by Jake. It's very hard to advocate for her because of the other underlying issue here, which is where is her son and what, if any, involvement? Well, she was charged as well. So it's very difficult to take her side in any of it as we normally we would. We'd be like, hey, look, she was in a bad situation. Um, but the fact that they charged her with the crime too, it makes it difficult to ever help her at all. Kaliza said it's not an excuse, but I think Jake is very controlling and threatening. I don't know if it's in this interview, but you see him. Let me look it up if I can find it. What is it called, Rebecca? There's a photo of him touching her, and I didn't like it. It was very controlling. He sort of has his arms over her like that, as if like if she stepped out of line, he was going to like, pull her back. I'm just trying to see if I can find it. Just so I can show you the example. Duh, duh, duh. I can't find the one I'm looking for, but he sort of had his arms over the top of her shoulders while they were doing an interview. Yeah, this is that photo there. It's very strange. This photo, here you go. This photo right here. Like, if this is your partner and you had a lost child, a abducted child, wouldn't he be the person you would run to? Shouldn't it be him? So that photo I really was a bit odd. Justice Jane said, I think he's in the landfill. It could be. A lot of children are disposed of in the rubbish system. They're now saying information I saw this afternoon said they believe that Emmanuel hadn't been seen in a month. So they're saying that the search for him may actually have to date back 4 weeks. And that makes the search for him a lot harder, unfortunately. It's not like a week, it's now multiple weeks. And now if taking this suggestion from Jane, if he is in landfill, that makes it all the more harder to try and track him down. Looking in a lake could be water. Quentin Simon and Elijah Vu. It does have tinges of Elijah Vu. I agree. It does. Gail said even her breathing got on my nerves. Yeah, her breathing in that interview where she's like, I think she's trying to seem hyperventilated, but she's not doing it right, and she isn't hyperventilating. And I think she's trying to put it on to try and make it look like she's super upset and uncontrollably, a mess, but she's not. Khaleesa said the baby was born in November. He would be 9 months, so possibly missing 2+ months. Jeez. SP Mom said, I think landfills should have machines to detect humans. We have the technology. Do we? We have the technology to detect humans? Oh, you mean like AI scanning? I thought you meant like have like a cadaver dog and like have it strapped to something, and as a truck came through, the cadaver dog would sniff all the trucks as they went through. I was like, I don't know if you're allowed to do that to dogs. I think the RSPCA would come calling and be like, hey, take that dog down. You can't do that to a dog. But maybe AI scanning could do that. Does anyone? I don't know. If he's 7 months old when he went missing, he would be born in January? It would have to be January, right? Miss Woozy said, it reminds me of that wife who shot her husband and staged it like it was random, and she was the full body hyperventilating in the ambulance. People can do some interesting things. Every truck should be checked. It would be good if they could. Gail said, or sensor computer can also detect. Can they do that? I don't think they can do that. Hold on. Can computer sensors detect cadaver? I don't know if they have a sensor. Oh, apparently, yes, they can. Apparently, computer sensors, specifically electronic noses, okay, can detect cadaver smell by analyzing the volatile organic compounds released during decomposition. Maybe you could have something like that, like a sensor as it came through to check for any type. But then would you pick up animals? So if people had like a dead dog or a dead, a deer or something like that that got hit on the side of the road and someone put it in a bin, would you have to stop a truck every every day? You'd have to stop like 5 trucks. Permaculture said, Ping, are you asking Chat GBT? No, I just Googled it. I have no idea. I've never heard of it before. Sean said, we have cameras in our dump trucks as they know when you add a non-recyclable to the wrong bin. How dare they, Sean? Big brother, they're coming to get you for putting plastic in the wrong bin. SP Mama said, I'd pay double for my trash to prevent people dumping human remains and x-rays to see bones. It'd be interesting how they would do that. You'd have to have like a full truck thing that would scan every truck as it came through. Summer said, I'm happy both have been arrested, but he will accuse her. Apparently, when the other charges came up a few years ago, they did that. So they both blamed each other for the child's injuries. They both basically said, oh, it was her, and he said it was, oh, I didn't do it, it was her, and she said, oh, it was him, he did it. So I have no hope that either of them will do the right thing and, tell the truth. Gail said, yep, they are talking about charging for things in the wrong bins. I hope they don't do that. I'd be annoyed. Gail said, could it have could it have above the trucks? Yeah, it would have to be like a full thing as you drive through. They have them for not for this, but for other applications like aeroplanes and boats and things like that. They have things where you drive through it and it scans and does things. That was a different woman. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if she does it. Why would she? Why would she tell any truth? She hasn't so far. Why would she suddenly be charged with a crime and be like, you know what? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to tell the truth now. I don't think she will. Justice Jane said maybe he's underneath the floor that they took pieces from. I think they took the pieces because of the blood. I think they wanted to analyze it because that's what they normally do if they find blood. They may take a sample. They may just cut the whole thing out. So Lisa said yes, but this time he has prior charges, so it'll be easier to get him. Montana won't charge for bin and recycle. It costs more. Is that true in Montana? They don't do recycling? Interesting. I thought it was like a national thing that everyone had to do. Gayla said, don't put animals in the bin. Yes, don't put animals in the bin. The RSPCA will come after you. They'll say, hey, bins are not for animals. Don't be doing that. You have to take them out and then feed them. And oh, you mean dead ones? Okay, I gotcha. All right, I want to take you to one more thing from KTLA. I think it's KTLA. No, it is KCAL. Give me 1 second. I want to take you to one more update. Then we will continue. Okay, 41 minutes ago. Yes, that is the one.
Emmanuel Haro disappeared in Yucaipa. San Bernardino County deputies arrested his parents today for his murder. KCAL's Nicole Comstock is live in Cabazon, where a vigil was held for the 7-month-old boy, and tonight the search for his body continues.
Yeah, Pat, many people who've been watching this story unfold tell me they just had a gut feeling from the beginning that something very bad may have happened to this baby and that maybe his parents had something to do with it. And so there are so many people who are really invested in Emmanuel's story. That's why dozens came out here tonight to hold a candlelight vigil for this little boy on the same day and in the same place at his home in Cabazon, where earlier today, that little boy's parents were arrested for murder.
I don't know what people get in their head just to hurt the baby. Like, it's just so sad.
Tears from strangers for a baby they never even knew. Tonight, community members organized a candlelight vigil at the home of 7-month-old Emmanuel Haro, who investigators now say was murdered by his own parents.
I had 2 miscarriages. When I had those, it broke my heart. So to see that somebody was able to hurt this little boy, it's not okay.
Earlier this morning,
You know, that says a lot to me. When the community cares more about the child than the parents do. It's lovely to see the community come out to everyone in that area. Thank you for doing that. It's very, very kind of everyone to put the effort in, show support, and to come together and grieve a little bit. I think there's a lot of people grieving that while they're not connected to the case, it has impacted that community and further. I think that's a really nice thing that they have done to try and, I don't know, come together, talk about it, be with the community. I like it. It's really nice. Very kind of all the people who organized it. Yeah, hit the thumbs up and subscribe. I would appreciate it. It's very kind. Very kind, Sean. Thank you. Permaculture said last year a newborn baby was found dead in a recycling bin. There was one found in a drain in Australia this week, but they already found the mum. The mum apparently came forward to police after they found the baby, but it was found in a stormwater drain. Very sad, but there's been a lot of them. There was one in Florida last year. That girl in university, she had the baby very early hours of the morning, thought that her roommates were going to hear it and ended up killing the child. So there's been a few, and I get it. Like that woman said, fertility can be very difficult for some people. And for some women, men, couples, women and women, men and men, it can be extremely difficult when you see a child's life like this wasted when you are struggling with infertility or fertility at all. And I think like you saw that one young lady, she seemed very upset by the events that have transpired with Emmanuel. So I get why she's like she said, she lost two babies trying to conceive, and for her it hit home that this little boy could have been another couple's little boy and could have had a different life, in another universe or another existence. So very sad.
The San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department showed up at the home in Cabazon with an armored vehicle to arrest Emmanuel's parents, Jake and Rebecca Haro. This after a week-long investigation into their claim that Rebecca was knocked unconscious before their baby was kidnapped during a diaper change in a Yucaipa parking lot last week. Investigators now say they have evidence proving that alleged kidnapping did not occur and that baby Emmanuel is likely dead. Moving forward, they're focused on finding his remains.
Bring him back, please.
Within days of the kidnapping story, investigators publicly announced there were inconsistencies in Rebecca's statements.
It made my heart drop because then it's like, okay, now it's completely off of what was said, what really happened.
And many who watched the couple's initial media interviews say they didn't ring true.
I didn't really believe it. Just from the get-go, the mom, just you could tell.
How Rebecca said she couldn't turn around to see what the kidnapper looked like, but was somehow punched in her eye. How she sounded like she was hyperventilating on camera.
I got up off the floor and I didn't see my child. Someone took him from me.
But many noticed there were no tears.
Yeah, those were crocodile tears.
The Haros also said their baby was always happy and smiling, but many think the photos they shared in an attempt to find him didn't reflect that. As people all around the world mourn the loss of this innocent infant, those gathering here are praying that justice is served.
I love that everybody's here and able to be his voice because he don't have one.
Well, court records indicate that both of the Haros have now been booked into the Riverside County Jail for murder with malice. They have no bail set, and their first court appearance is supposed to be next Tuesday. Now, another thing, we reported earlier in the week that the baby's father, Jake Haro, was previously convicted of willful cruelty against a child for another case involving another one of his children. And while Jake's attorney has told us that he did his time for that, he completed parenting classes, and he believes he was a changed man, many people out here say they believe the system failed Emmanuel, and they think they should have done much more to keep Jake away from children.
That's an interesting point. How come at no time was there any supervision of this growing family with a male that lived in the household with a previous history for hurting children? But like everyone said, it is nice to see all the people out. Look at all the signs in the background for him. I love that. Anytime a community can, put their efforts to something positive, I like it rather than burning things down or rioting or whatever. Show what your message is in a nice way, very peaceful. It's good. It's nice. A lot of families turned up. That's pretty good. I like it. Sean said the father called him her in the interview. Oh, really? I didn't see that, but yeah, that's interesting. Jane said Jake Haro was convicted in June of 23 of willful child cruelty for an incident involving another child. Yes. He's due to appear. Yeah, he had a violation that he was due to appear in the 2nd of September. Now he's due. What is Tuesday? Tuesday is the 26th of August. The last thing that he will ever need to worry about is a parole violation. I think murder trumps just a simple parole violation. So Gail said he did that because he did that parenting class. That's right. Oh my God, he's a changed man. Like that stupid mother effing lawyer. By the way, that guy, like, there's some really like scumbag people in the world, and that guy, like, you know, it drives me crazy. People who are okay breaching their ethical boundaries for a paycheck and willing to go on all these news channels and sort of spout things that, while they are facts and they are the truth, they are innocent until proven guilty. That is true. They, Jake did complete a parenting course, but it doesn't change the other facts of what's going on. And that's what I think a lot of people had a problem with that guy. His name is Vincent Hughes, by the way. Vincent Hughes. So there you go. Lisa said he probably thought he got away with it once, he'll get away with it again. Very interesting because I think, when the child lives, it's one thing, but when the child disappears and is assumed dead, I think you're boxing yourself into a bit of a corner. But I'm glad I was not the only one who picked up on the fake hyperventilating and, the sort of weird speech pattern that she was doing when trying to describe what happened to her. I think it was just one of those cases that was super obvious. Sometimes a case comes along where we all just get it and we all just go, okay, we see what's going on here. And that's what happened here. And it's very sad. Summer said Jake abused two of his children and his idiotic lawyer got him off to do what he did to Emmanuel. That's what I'm saying. This guy was ready to do it all over again, appearing on Ashley Banfield or whatever, trying to do an interview and advocating for them. Oh, he's done parenting courses. He's a good guy. He's, innocent until proven guilty. Now, what do you say on this? What is it for you guys? Friday night. What do you say tonight on this Friday night? Now, a child is believed to be dead. Nothing? Will you just go back to work on Monday morning and pick another scumbag to represent? I'd say most likely. The lawyer should be punished. I don't think he's going to be punished with anything. While I don't think he broke any laws, I think it's more of an ethical dilemma. Um, I don't think he broke any laws. I just think he's full of crap. Permaculture said didn't change the fact that he's an abuser still. Convicted. It's like Aaron Patterson. We can move around everything. Oh, there's an appeal and there's this and that. At the end of the day, the jury convicted her. She's a convicted triple murderer. I don't know what else you'd like us to do. We can only go by what the law tells us, and that's it. Saturday morning now. Someone said, how does this lawyer sleep at night? Probably sleeps in his BMW, I'm guessing. Probably sleeps in his BMW. It's the judge's fault, not the lawyer. No, I think the lawyer... No. The judge, yes, for sentencing. The lawyer for everything else. He's a lawyer. Oh my God. Are you sure, Sean? Are you sure? Peekaboo said everyone is right to a robust defense. He deserves a defense. I don't think that's the issue. You're able to put up a defense. I think it was his behavior before the charges were filed. I think that's what the problem is. Hey Peekaboo, good to see you, my friend. I hope you're feeling better. I really do. Hope you're feeling a lot better than you were a few months ago. All right. This page? Okay. Which one were we on? That's KCal. All right. Think we're almost done with this. I don't have too much more to add. I was going to do another section of it, but I just feel like we're sort of beating a dead horse, so to speak, even though that's a very bad description. I wanted to show you the one in Queensland since people don't know about it. Give me 1 second.
difficult. Police this afternoon pleading for a mother to come forward after a newborn baby was found in a stormwater drain. The little boy was discovered by chance in Perth by workers who were clearing drains in the area. Rachel Clifford has more.
Strangers have laid flowers and teddies at this storm drain today as the community mourns the sad circumstances after 2 workers made the discovery of the newborn. The homicide squad now looking after the investigation, working through the night, trying to understand what happened. It was about 1 p.m. yesterday. Maintenance workers had been clearing the drain on Lascelles Road in Alexander Heights, 25 k's north of Perth, when they found the baby boy.
It was a chance discovery. They were very unprepared. Not that you can prepare for a discovery like this.
Pathology testing is now underway to determine the circumstances around the baby's death, including his age and whether he'd already died before being put in the drain.
I mean, we don't know the story behind why the mum done what she'd done, but it's just very touching as a mum, heartbreaking, and for the little baby that didn't get a chance at life, really.
Officers are now urgently working with Perth hospitals and health centres trying to track down the mother.
We want to help that mother. That is our priority. If you are watching, if you are listening, if you are that mother, please come forward and make yourself known to police. We would love to help you.
Detectives are now appealing for information and CCTV as they try to figure out a timeline of events.
You know, every time a baby is found like that, and the cops say to them, like in a press conference like that, they say, "Oh, what we want to do is we want to help the mother." I feel like that's a little bit, you know, of a trick. It's like when your parents say, "You should come home because you're not in trouble." I feel like, you know, while yes, they would help the mother, they would also charge her with a crime. So, and I'm going to tell you, I'm going to show you here because she ended up being charged with a crime. So, yesterday, a couple of days after they found the baby, the mum was charged with concealing the baby boy's body in the drain. And nice neighbors left a bit of a memorial for the child there. But they're saying the woman is receiving medical care and will appear in court at a later date. But they didn't charge her as of yet with the death of the child, but they charged her with like hiding the child in the drain. So we don't know too much more about that. Just that those maintenance workers found the child. They believed it had been there for a number of weeks at the time. Yeah, there you go. There's a photo of the drain. So she had put the baby in there at some point. They're saying here, they said public identification led to the identification of the mother and enabled police to get her medical help that she needed. They said it was our priority to get her to a hospital. On Wednesday evening, police announced that a woman aged in her 30s was assisting them with their inquiries into the death of the child. And they said police said that she was receiving appropriate care and support. They also said that due to the circumstances surrounding the child being found and the mother, that they would not release any more information at this point. So it's currently undergoing, the child. I don't have a name for the baby. It's the child is undergoing forensic testing at the moment. They're trying to find out a cause of death. They don't know. They just said that the cause of death was not a violent cause of death, but they don't know the exact reason for that child not being alive. So, retired RN said, but she may need medical care, so they do want to help her. Yeah, it's like a double-edged sword. They will help you and they will get you medical care, but on the flip side, they'll charge you with a crime. So there you go. No, she has been charged with concealing the death. So charged with concealing the baby boy in the stormwater drain in WA. So sorry, I said it was Queensland, but it wasn't. It is Western Australia. So there. Lingen said the autopsy should show if the baby was stillborn or born alive. That will obviously make a difference in the charges. yeah, we will see if they get an updated charge for her or not. I don't think they do have that place installment. I don't think so. No, just that they said the woman confirmed to be the infant's mother was continuing to receive appropriate care and support. They said the police had been alerted about the woman by the members of the community. Interesting. They said that she was still suffering from birth-related health issues. So some issue with the birth of the child. She was still injured from giving birth. So it's lucky they did find her. I mean, she could have died. They're saying here the woman is cooperating with investigators and forensic testing continues to determine exactly how long the baby was in the drain for, although it's believed to be a short amount of time. That's interesting because when that first happened, they said a few weeks. They're like, oh, we think it might be a couple of weeks or more. Now they're saying it was a very short amount of time. So something tells me that people knew that she was pregnant, and then all of a sudden, she wasn't pregnant anymore. And I think that's what was reported to the authorities. I'm guessing some woman, everyone knew that she had a baby, and then all of a sudden she turned up one day with no baby. So, because it says that she was reported to police, and that's how they found out. It's not like the one we had in Sydney the other time. There was one in Sydney last year. They found a placenta. Was it a placenta? I think it was. They found a placenta, but they never identified who the mum was or where the baby was, what happened to either of them. They didn't find any of it. And I believe today, they still don't know. They still don't know who that belonged to, if the baby's okay, nothing. It was a big mystery in Sydney last year. Lisa said she could have had postpartum psychosis and not know what she did. It says she's cooperating with authorities. It could also be like she was a homeless person. That has happened several times, including in the UK, where people who believe to be homeless have had babies and dumped them, or there's a very famous case in the UK. There's a famous case in the UK where over a number of years, babies kept turning up in a park, and they later on through DNA testing figured out that they were all siblings. And to today, they don't know who the mum is. They have no idea, but they're worried that babies are going to keep popping up in this park. And apparently, they figured out that there was a timeline to it. I think they figured out it was like every 18 months or something that a baby would pop up in a park. And they still don't know who the mum is. They're still not sure. So, yeah, it's 3 or 4 now. I know they found one like a year ago. Hold on, baby found UK park siblings. I think we've had it on the channel before. Yeah, Elsa. They named her Elsa, one of the babies, because she was found in the snow. Named her after the Frozen character. June 24. Let me see. Yeah, this one here, channel 4.
Is Harry, shortly after he was found abandoned in a park over 6 years ago. It's now been revealed the parents that left him there went on to abandon 2 more newborn babies, most recently a little girl in January this year. It was -5 degrees in this East London park when a dog walker heard her cries and found her wrapped up inside a shopping bag, her umbilical cord still attached. She was rushed to hospital where staff estimated she was less than an hour old and named her Elsa.
If you are the baby's mother, please know that your daughter is well. No matter what your circumstances, please do seek help by dialing 999.
But no one did, and DNA tests have shown Harry and Elsa share another sister known as Roman. Baby Harry was discovered in Newham's Plaistow Park in September 2017. Less than 2 years later came baby Roman, found around a mile away in some frozen playing fields. And in January, Elsa was discovered, all three abandoned within less than 2 miles of each other. It's extremely rare for babies to be abandoned in the UK, and an appeal by media organisations led the judge overseeing Elsa's case to lift the usually extremely tight restrictions on family court reporting, allowing the relationship between the babies to be made public. Less than 7 years after baby Harry was abandoned, both he and his sister Roman have been adopted and given new names, while Elsa remains in care. Police continue to search for their parents and understand what led them to abandon 3 newborn babies in such extreme circumstances.
I believe that they do think that the mum has mental health issues, and the reason, if I remember correctly, why they think that is this type of behavior, not offending, but it is a crime, but this type of behavior is very abnormal. Maybe one baby that has happened before, but not every child that she's had. And I think I read another in-depth analysis on this where it said they're actually worried that there's more babies because there was a gap in the timeline. So these babies all turned up within the same sort of, like, I think it was 18 months or 24 months, something like that. And there's a gap. And they're really worried that there's a baby somewhere in a park that they never found, because they're like, this has been happening for like a decade, and they can't find out what happened during this certain time period where no child was discovered in a park. So yeah, it's a very sad case. Joe Neal said mentally challenged, or I don't know. They just believe the mum has some sort of mental health issue. Gayla said that newsreader has a horrible voice. I know. Gayla said might have been found and kept. Possibly. I know that they're sort of keeping an eye out. Apparently, if there was a baby, there's a baby due. It was either due last winter, so sometime December, January last year, or it's this year, and they're worried it's going to happen again because they spent the last 24 months looking for her, and they've not been able to track her down. Rachel said, does the UK have safe haven laws? I don't know. I don't know, even though I saw you ask if Australia does. I don't know. Does Australia have baby safe haven laws? So no, Australia does not have baby safe haven laws that decriminalize the relinquishment of a baby to a facility. Under Australian law, abandoning a child is a criminal offence. However, a public and ongoing movement is advocating for the introduction of such laws. That would be good, I think. I would say the UK might be similar. The UK does not have the laws either. So, yeah, so the UK and Australia don't have safe haven laws like the USA. So there you go. Justice Jane said, I used to work in retail, and I had a homeless woman outside the store crying by the Pepsi machine, holding her baby in a red Solo cup. She had an abortion and kept it. It was like a shrimp in fluid. That would have been distressing. I hope you're not eating fried rice, my friend. Sean said, so you can't leave a baby at a convent door here? Apparently not. Yeah, that's pretty. She was made to go and get it. Oh, that's not very nice. Gayla said it's absolutely horrific. I agree. It is horrific. Okay. So we caught up with that, caught up with the news on that one. By the way, I wouldn't be hiring this guy as your defense attorney. Let's see. Oh, hold on, guys. All right, we're back. Sorry, Mrs. Ping is going out, so I had to say goodbye. All right, I want to take you to Iowa because we don't really do a lot of stories out of Iowa, even though I love the state of Iowa. I've been there quite a lot actually, but I want to show you a story out of here. A man accused of taking missing Iowa teen to North Carolina home now facing kidnapping charges. Why do we keep reading about these? These are always in the paper. They say a man accused of taking an Iowa teen reported missing to a North Carolina home last weekend is now facing a kidnapping charge in Iowa. Last weekend, the Fairfield Police Department shared a post on Facebook about a 15-year-old girl who had been reported missing. Not long after the post was published, the teen was found over 15 hours away at a home in North Carolina. They say Fairfield police contacted the Rockingham County, North Carolina Sheriff's Office about the missing teen and the belief that she might be in their jurisdiction. According to officials, the investigation into the teen's disappearance discovered that the teen and a North Carolina man had been communicating on texting apps, and the man picked her up in Fairfield shortly before taking her to North Carolina. The investigation led deputies to a residence in Reedsville where they found the teenager safe. She was eventually reunited with her family. Authorities say the man who took the teen was a 25-year-old named John Michael Johnson. His parents are not very original with his name. How do you have John twice in your name? John Michael Johnson. Okay, Mr. Johnson. Do they call him Johnny John? I'm interested. I'm going to take you to We Are Iowa Local 5 News about Mr. John. Here we go. It's a very short clip, but here we go.
A 25-year-old man facing charges for kidnapping a Fairfield teen girl is now facing additional charges. Fairfield police say the 15-year-old girl was in contact with John Johnson before he picked her up and took her to Reedsville, North Carolina, where she was found. He was originally charged with solicitation and sexual exploitation of a minor. Now, Fairfield police requested a warrant for his arrest in Iowa for kidnapping. Authorities say he'll remain in custody in North Carolina for a court appearance on August 26th until he can be brought back to Iowa for another court appearance.
There you go. Out of Iowa, kidnapped a teenage girl and took her 15 hours away from home. 15 hours. That's crazy. Oh, by the way, some people have been asking about the sign. Reby made this for me, and unfortunately, we have to take it down. The sign has started. Look, it is bowed out. Look, and it is taking up half the space in my area here now. It's in like a dome shape now, unfortunately, and we're gonna have to order a new one. So I feel very bad for Reby because she made it for me, but we don't know what happened. It just became sort of like a moon shape, like a crescent moon. So we're gonna have to take it down and get rid of it, unfortunately, because we've tried bending it back. We've tried putting it on the other way. I tried putting heavy weight on it, and it's not working. So we're going to make a new one and put it up here for you. So we're going to do a new one. I don't know how that happened. I just looked at it one day and it was bowed. So not sure. We're not sure how it happened. Glue it to plywood. The heat warped it. The heat. It's winter. How would the heat warp it in winter? It's cold here. I don't know. Maybe in the summer. Maybe in the heat in the summer did it. Possibly. It does get pretty hot here. So, hey, Chipmunk, good night, my friend. Have a good night. Joe said, I bet you did. Let's see. Yeah, we have heating on, but the heat is all the way over here. It's not even in this area. So I don't know how that would have worked, but at the moment we have to take it down until we can fix it. And I'm probably gonna have to do a new one. Okay, here we go. All right, so do you guys want to hear some very exciting news? Very exciting news. All right, I'm going to show you something. This is a world exclusive. A world exclusive. But you have to promise Pink something. That if you do want to go, you don't purchase tickets as of yet because I'm waiting on a code that I need you guys to use if you want to go. So that helps Ping out, okay? I'm going to show you something. Going to show you something very cool. In October of this year, there is going to be a mushroom murder tour in Melbourne. And it'll take you out to all the places associated with the Erin Patterson trial, including you're going to head out to her prison. Here, let me show you. Going to be departing from Melbourne in the city, and then they're going to take you out to Ravenhall at the prison. You won't get to go inside, but we will have a look at the prison from the outside. Then we're going to go up to, we're going to do some Q&A and test your true crime trivia while we're driving out to Lock. So we're going to head out to Lock. I'm hoping while we're in Lock, we're going to be able to go to the oval where Erin picked the mushrooms. So we're going to hopefully take you out to that sporting oval. And then apparently there's a morning tea in Lock, so you get a bit of a break. And then there's going to be a visit to Outram, which is the second location where Erin is said to have picked death cap mushrooms. There's going to be a lunch at Leongatha Hotel, and then a stop in Morwell on the way home. You'll get to see where the trial took place in the Morwell Law Courts, and I'll show you a little bit about it, what happened at the trial, what it was like during the trial at that courthouse, and then they will head back to Melbourne after a full day. It's going to be a long day. I think it's like 11 hours all up. I think we leave at like 7 or 8 in the morning and we get back at about 6 p.m. at night. So this is going to be in October. Ping will be there. I will be co-hosting the day. I will be emceeing a portion of the day too, and you'll get a lot of facts and true crime knowledge from me. If you want to hang out and come and meet me, I will be at this event, and I believe it's pretty limited because they're only hiring one coach, so it'll only be one coach. And once tickets are sold, that's it. There won't be any more. It'll be just that. Once that coach is full, that's it for the time being. So that'll be it. No more after that. What weekend is it in? I don't know. Have they done it yet? I don't know if they've set the date. Marco's going to. Sunday, the 19th of October, 2025. Sunday, the 19th of October. So there you go. Joe Neal, if you want to travel all the way from the USA and do the tour, Sure. So, but mostly this would be for people if you live in Melbourne or Victoria and would like to do the tour, or if you live around, you live in Sydney or New South Wales or Canberra, Queensland, or Adelaide or South Australia, maybe even WA. If you want to travel and you were really big into the Aaron Patterson trial and would like to see all the locations associated with the trial, come on down. I will give you some more details on how to buy a ticket on Monday. So Monday we'll be at court for Aaron Patterson, and I will give you more details on how to purchase a ticket and what code to use so that it helps ping out too. So I would appreciate it. Sean said, I'll go to Ayers Rock to see the dingo site. Do you reckon the dingo's still there or not? I reckon the dingo might be dead. The dingo is probably like 105 by now. Gayla said, it's a theme song for Prisoner Cell Block H. I can't say I've watched any of that. So, Summer said, wow, my birthday, wish I was in Australia. Yeah, so if you're in Australia and you think this would be a fun Sunday activity, you would like to go on a day trip around Victoria and yes, visit a lot of the sites associated with the trial. Your wish has been granted. You don't have to drive yourself. You can come on the coach with us, and we will give you a full entertaining day of give you all the mushroom knowledge you can handle. So you guys would know even more than you do now. So it'll be a fun time. It'll be a fun who's messaging me? No one. Okay. Sorry. Yeah, it'll be a fun event. It'll be a fun event. Summer Thunder said, will you be live that day on your mushroom tour? I don't know if we will be because I'll be very busy hosting the tour. But I will put some content up on social media and maybe even YouTube. Maybe we'll do a bit of a live stream with all the people when we get to different parts of the tour. Maybe we'll do like a little sort of like wish you were here type thing and get all the people in front of the camera. We may do something like that. That would be a lot of fun. So there you go. We've been working on this for a little while now, and a lot of people kept wanting to do something like this. So your opportunity is here. You can go on a tour. So a lot of fun. I think it'll be a lot of fun. I think meals are included. It says lunch and a drink at the Leongatha Hotel are included in the cost of the ticket. And yeah, go on a tour, have some lunch, and go around the countryside of Victoria and look at all the nice places. So the places where we're going to go are not only associated with the trial, they also have historic value to Victoria. So we're going to show you not just the like negative things like Aaron Patterson, we'll also show you some of the further history of some of these locations for you. So not just Aaron Patterson, you'll also get some general knowledge about the different places that we're going to. Beef Wellington? I don't think there's going to be any beef Wellington. I don't know. You'll have to ask the organizer. I am not the organizer. I just got hired to do the event. So it's not me. You'll have to ask Marco. So if you've seen Marco in the chat throughout the trial, Marco is the proprietor and the organizer. So you can if you see him in the chat, you can ask him, or we'll get you an email and you can talk to Marco if you want. But it is his thing. So yes, I will bring you along when I can throughout the trip. Lisa said Leongatha pub is lovely. It should be a nice day, especially in October. I think October will be the weather will be nice and warm, but not too warm. I think if we did it in like December or January or something, it would be way too hot. It wouldn't be enjoyable. So it'll be a lovely weather for a day out in the countryside learning about Erin Patterson. So there you go. There's your announcement. I'll give you further details in the coming few days about how you can get on board and purchase a ticket and come hang out with me for a day in Melbourne. All right, there you go. There's your little sneak peek at it. All right, I want to talk about San Antonio because why not? We always like to talk about San Antonio. I want to go to KSAT. Yeah. A missing child, Amber Alert. Missing 3-year-old. Last seen in Northeast Bear County. Let's play the video.
All right. Thank you, sir. Now on to an Amber Alert this morning. Authorities are trying to find a missing 3-year-old girl. The Bear County Sheriff's Office posted these images on their Facebook page right here. The BCSO says Aurora Bojorquez was last seen around 2 p.m. on July 7th. Aurora is 2 feet 5 inches tall with brown hair and brown eyes. Authorities believe Amber Heveland is wanted in connection with Aurora's disappearance. Authorities believe Heveland is driving a white 2013 Dodge Caravan with a Texas license plate WFB 8035. If you know where deputies might be able to find her, contact the Bear County Sheriff's Office.
You know, anytime we get a child who hasn't been seen for a large period of time makes me worry, and especially one like this. So authorities believe Heveland, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, is driving a white 2013 Dodge Caravan with a Texas license plate WFB 8035, and that's what a Dodge Challenger looks like. Oh, they say Dodge Challenger. Up here it says a Dodge Caravan. I'm going to say it's a Caravan. They say due to the nature of the prior assault, CPS has advised that the child is endangered by remaining in Amber Heveland's care. Anyone with information about Aurora or Heveland's whereabouts is asked to call Bear County Sheriff's Office at 210-335-6000. Let me see here. So her name is Aurora. Let me see if we can find a photo of little Aurora for you. Yeah, there's another one here. I'll take you to Ken's 5.
There's an Amber Alert out of San Antonio. You may have just received this alert on your phone in the last 25 minutes. Take a look. DPS is looking for 3-year-old Aurora Bojorquez, who investigators say was last seen with her mother. You see there on the right, Amber Heveland. DPS reports that they were last seen on the northeast side of Oldham Road near Walsham on July 7th. Now, Bear County officials report that CPS was planning on taking custody of the child today, but deputies say the mother has the child and took off. Now, DPS says that they could be traveling in a white Dodge Caravan like this one here with light.
Very sad story. A mother about to lose her child to a CPS, probably custody type thing, where they have said that the child is not safe in the home. So they are taking custody of the child from her. Pretty sad. Let me take you to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children page. Here's a photo of little Aurora. And they said, the vehicle is no longer being searched for with the missing child. Updated circumstances. Child abduction from San Antonio. Okay, weird. They're just saying that the vehicle is not being looked for anymore. But no other update. Okay, there's the suspect. There's Amber. Let me get you her photo in a bigger. There you go. So we have a lot of people who watch this channel from San Antonio and from Texas in general. So if you're in the area and you see this woman anywhere surrounding, anywhere in another part of Texas, and you see her with a little girl, that photo we just showed you, you have to call it in. Call it into the authorities. Just call 911. It is an Amber Alert. Or you can call the Bexar County Sheriff's Office at 210-335-6000. Amber Heverland. Let me have a look what I can find about the mom. I don't know why they took down KSAT here. Trying to see like why they took the vehicle thing down. There's no update on the news about why they took down the vehicle, like the wanted vehicle thing. Yeah, no update about that. All the stories I can see are still wanting a search for the vehicle. Yeah. So Heverland is suspected of intentionally avoiding law enforcement to prevent her child Aurora from being taken from her. On August 21, 2025, CPS was investigating Aurora's welfare and attempted to interview her biological mother. Multiple attempts to locate them at a known address were unsuccessful. So it sounds like she caught wind of the investigation and fled. But they say court records show that Heverland was also arrested and charged in December 2010 with driving under the influence, a Class B misdemeanor. But why do they want to take the child now? That would be good information to have. Yeah, let me show you a photo of Aurora. So if you see the little girl, call it into those two numbers I told you about, please. That would be good. Gayla said, I actually get it. I wouldn't want my kids in the system. Miss Woozy said maybe they found the vehicle and not the child. Yeah, could be. Apparently there's 2 missing children in Idaho too. Oh no, they're the wow, they are still on the missing person list. I know who this is. These were the 2 kids who were part of a religion, and they think that the people in the religion are hiding them, right? So they believe they are being actively hidden. Yeah, FLDS, and that is in Mendon, Utah. But the alert is out of Montview in Idaho. Yeah, these ones they believe they're being actively hidden. That is a crazy story if they to be actively hidden by someone and they're not your children. It's bonkers. Okay. There's another one in LA, Jaden Hernandez, and they're saying that they're looking for a Chrysler PT Cruiser 2008, black, license plate DFT 105, and it says the license plate is from Indianapolis. And it's saying here, is that IN, Indianapolis? You guys probably know better than me. Indiana? Maybe Indiana. What does it say here? Dark sweatpants, license plate. IND. IND? Indianapolis? I don't know. Indiana? Someone in the chat will know if it's Indiana or Indianapolis. Indianapolis is a city, right? Not a state. So it wouldn't be that. I'm going to say it's Indiana. All right. I want to go back to the one we just had. Yeah. Let's look for the little boy. Jaden Hernandez, missing since August 21st, 2025. Phone, would you stop? There we go. Let's go here to the Pasadena Star News. Okay. They say an Amber Alert issued Thursday, the 21st of August, after Derek Rodriguez, too. That's the little boy on the left. Jaden Hernandez in the middle here, he's 10, were discovered missing from their foster home in the Westlake district of LA. Authorities believing they were seeking to reunite with their biological mother, Jacqueline Hernandez Torres, and that's her on the right here. So they were trying to get back with their biological mom. And what do they say here? The boys were reported missing about 1:30 a.m. on Thursday, were last seen in the area of West 52nd Street and Holdale Avenue in South LA, according to the LAPD. Geez, really? A 2-year-old and a 10-year-old last seen at 1:30 a.m. in the morning. Oh my God. They're saying it is believed their biological mother took them from Virgil Avenue in the area of the 1500 block of East 52nd Street. So the mum came and got them. Okay, I see how this works. The mum. There you go. There's the Amber Alert. There's the mum. She's 5 foot tall, 30 years old, 120 pounds, black hair, brown eyes, and goes by the name Jacqueline. And there's her son, Derek, and Jaden. Oh, there we go. It is Indiana. Good work, Ping. And they're looking for a PT Cruiser with that license plate, DFT 105. Where are they heading to? Well, if she has an Indiana car, could they be headed to Indiana? I mean, it's a long drive from LA to head back to Indiana. Linjed said, yes, the FLDS, they have compounds and properties in Canada. Yeah, that's creepy. 100 pounds at 10? Maybe he's very tall. How tall is he? He's 4 foot. He's very short. Okay. So he's a little fella. And then the little baby is like 20 pounds and 2 foot high. So he's only little too. Why do they only have a black and white photo of the mother? That is not very descriptive. It makes it hard to identify her. I'd like to see a better color photo of her. So let's see. Let me see if I can find anything else about these missing boys. 2 missing brothers. Where were they last seen? Amber Alert issued.
We are following more breaking news right now in South Los Angeles. The search is intensifying for 2 young brothers who left their foster home in the Westlake district.
LAPD says they were picked up by their mom. So let's get right to Eyewitness News reporter Sid Garcia, live on the ground with the very latest. Sid.
Everything transpired early this morning, and police at that hour say if you see these 3, we're about to show you their pictures, call police. The Amber Alert was sent out at 10:30 this morning. LAPD telling us 2-year-old Derek Rodriguez Hernandez and his older brother, 10-year-old Jaden Hernandez, ran away from their foster home around 1:30 this morning. They were living in this Westlake District neighborhood on the 300 block of South Virgil Avenue. The suspect in this case is 30-year-old Jacqueline Hernandez Torres, the boy's mother. She was last seen driving a 2008 PT Cruiser with the Indiana license plate. The number is DFT 105. The LAPD got the call of the missing boys around 1:30 this morning. After canvassing this Westlake neighborhood, officers then turned their attention to this South Los Angeles neighborhood on the 1500 block of West 52nd Street. This is where police believe they were last seen. Off camera, neighbors were telling us they heard about what happened to the boys. When I showed them the alert with the mother and boys' pictures, some said they didn't recognize her.
And why would you take your kids from a safe environment?
Denise Coleman, who didn't want us to show her face, talked to us about how she hadn't seen the boys around here in a couple of weeks.
I think it was like about 4 or 5. I woke up and I heard the helicopter. But I'm thinking, okay, maybe they're after some criminal or something. And then about an hour or two ago, I heard it, but I didn't think it had to do with the kids.
And again, police are still looking for the two little boys and their mother. If you see them, simply dial 911. Reporting live from South Los Angeles, I'm Sid Garcia, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Okay, that explains a little bit more about what is going on with the two of them, but still doesn't make it very clear about what to do next, where to look for them, like where any known areas that they might, go to, anywhere they might want to head to. That is what I would want to know. Let me see here. Let me see if I can find any more information for you. Amber Alert. It makes me very sad that people are not commenting on this one. As you can see, the Aware Foundation put out an alert and no one commented on it. No one's got any information. No one is advocating. Nothing, which is quite sad. So hopefully we get more information about where they might have gone. That's what I would like to know. Maybe Indianapolis, maybe. Gayla said she's not seen them in weeks. What is going on? I hope this is not one of these things where they're like, sort of what happened with the other case earlier, and they're trying to blame the biological mother, but maybe it's the foster parents. If the other lady's saying she hasn't seen them in weeks, where have they been? First you've heard of it? Well, I'm glad I could bring you a story that you haven't heard of. Derek Rodriguez and Jaden Hernandez. I'm just trying to find a bit more information. Yeah, it happened a day ago, so it's been a bit of time already. I'm just trying to see if there's anything else on another paper. Here's the full photos of the two boys, like a better quality. There you go. The foster parents told police they were concerned that the boys had gone searching for their birth parents. The boys were later spotted by Hernandez, spotted with the birth mother near the home in the Westlake neighborhood, but have not been seen since. They said the LAPD searched for them with the canine unit and their air support, and they're saying that their biological mother is named as a suspect. Police initially provided a description of a car they believe she had been driving, but later removed the vehicle in an updated alert. So they don't believe she's in that vehicle anymore, in that PT Cruiser. That has now been removed according to that update. Hey, Kat, how are you? He does. Jojo says, where are you talking? Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, very strange case. The fact that no one's talking about it either. 2 missing brothers, 2 and 10. I don't think they were possibly abducted. People are saying possibly. I don't think it's possibly. I think they have been abducted, or at least that's what it looks like. Okay, they did put out an update. That's interesting. KTLA put out an update and then they rescinded it. Odd. Yeah, odd. 2 brothers missing, abducted by foster home. No real good information other than that. 2 and 10. Yeah, just that they're missing and no one has seen them. My News LA. All right, let's go to a local LA paper. See if they have anything. They say the LAPD investigation and search continued Friday for 2 missing young brothers who left their foster parents' West Lake District apartment early Thursday and are believed to have been abducted by their biological mother. Any new thing? They just say they believe it's the biological mother. Officers had searched for the boys in the 300 block of Virgil Avenue. That's it. That's it. No updates, no sightings. That's it. Nothing else I can tell you right now. So a lot of Amber Alerts at the moment. Quite a few. Yeah, I'll show you the list. Got a few people to look out for, unfortunately. You got Aurora in San Antonio, Texas. You got the 2 brothers in LA. And then you've got Rochelle and Alan in the FLDS situation. So we've heard of that one before. All right, let's see. Abducted by their biological mum, Jacqueline, is what they're saying. All right, let's go here. All right. I'm gonna wind up for the night. I think I've run out of stories that I want to talk about for tonight. So, hey, I love you all very, very much. You're all very kind. I appreciate it. Tomorrow there'll be a show, but the day after and the day after there will be a show, but it'll be very late, like when we're at trial. So Monday and Tuesday we have a court day, and it'll be a late day. So we're heading out early Monday and Tuesday, and I don't expect to get back until I don't expect we'll leave until right now. So right now, the time that it is right now for you, wherever you are, this is the time that we will leave on Monday and Tuesday. And then I need to get home and then do notes and things like that, and then get a live show. So it'll be about 4 hours from now, which will be Monday and Tuesday for the live show for Erin. So that'll be your Monday and Tuesday. So we only have tomorrow with each other. Yeah, I love you all. Have a good night. Have a good night. Come back tomorrow. Have a great Saturday for all of you. And come back Saturday night. We'll see if there's an update for any of these Amber Alerts, okay? I'll keep an eye on them for you. And very sad news about Emmanuel Haro. That is not the news that really any of us wanted, but I think we all suspected that it was most likely what had happened, that this wasn't a real abduction. It was a fake abduction. I'll see you then. Yep, I will. Yeah, she's doing all right. She's gone to get some dinner. So she's gone to get our dinner for tonight. So she's gone to the shops because she's like, you're boring when you're on the show. She's like, I can't talk to you or do anything. So she wanted to go out. So she's gone to get some food for dinner. So I love you all. I'll have more updates about the Haro family tomorrow. Have more updates about these Amber Alerts as well. And we'll have some fun on Saturday night. We'll have some fun. I might be on a little earlier tomorrow, like 10:30, because Trish is not doing a show tomorrow night. So look at around 10:30 Eastern. Okay, I'll try to come on a bit earlier so more people can tune in and watch and interact. Love you all. Good night, everyone. Bye.